Simon Kids subscribers. My name is Rachel Toalson, and I write under the name R.L. Toalson. I'm the author of The First Magnificent Summer, Something Maybe Magnificent, The Colors of the Rain, and The Woods. Today, I'm going to read an excerpt from Something Maybe Magnificent and share with you a poetry prompt that you can use to be like main character Victoria Reeves. Something Maybe Magnificent stars 13-year-old writer Victoria Reeves. There's a new man in her mom's life, and Victoria is determined to get rid of him, no matter what. She's coming to terms with her monthly visitor, sorting through her relationship with her estranged father, and wrestling with her changing views of womanhood. But she is not coming to terms with the possibility of a stepdad. To protect her mom and the family dynamic she's used to from this unwanted imposter, Victoria will do whatever it takes to send him packing. But when she goes too far, she has to face the truth. Has she ruined everything for her mom and herself? Or is there a way to fix things? There I was, reading in my hammock, feeling such peace and quiet and probably as close to blissful as a person can get, thinking about how if the whole summer passed just like today, I'd call it a magnificent one. When the loudest rumble I've ever heard, like 4 thunderstorms stacked on top of each other, smuggled all the hope out of the entire world. I'm not exaggerating. The birds scattered, King ran barking to the road, and I groaned. "King!" Maggie shouted. "Get away from the road!" She thinks he'll listen to her order him around. King does what he wants, so he stood there barking his head off right in the middle of the road. You could hardly hear him, though, over the noise of the dumbest truck in the universe. The dumbest truck in the universe deserves a description, in case this guy doesn't stick around much longer. And that's both the dream and the plan. It's a big truck, with gigantic wheels that require an extra step for Mom when she's getting in. It's not new, but looks like the owner cares a lot about it. He does. With gleaming black paint and the kind of windshield you can see right through. Which is a feat of car washing superpowers out here in the middle of nowhere, where bugs think they're safe to fly in swarms. I've tried to get the love bug and dragonfly guts off Mom's windshield from time to time. After a while, I figured it was better not to break my fingers. Fingers wrapped around a soapy cloth, of course. No way would I ever touch bug guts without plenty of padding between me and those guts. But the worst part of the dumbest truck in the universe is its engine. It's the kind of engine that announces itself from a mile away. And not a whining announcement like Mom's Ford Escort has started doing. This is one that says, "Hey everyone, pay attention. Kyle Moreland is coming." And if you don't hear that, you'll hear the knocking sounds it makes when he turns into the drive. And if you don't hear that, you'll hear the country music blasting from his speakers. Probably his favorite, Reba McEntire. I am not a fan of country music. I am also not a fan of... We'll get to that. Well, guess what? I don't want Kyle Moreland to come, ever. But Kyle Moreland came. Kyle Moreland comes every Wednesday evening, bringing 3 pepperoni pizzas, 2 liters of Coke, and 1 smile that could burn a hole in the dark if you let it. Lucky me, I'd stayed out long enough for afternoon to turn into evening, and now he probably thought I'd been waiting for him. Kyle Moreland is Mom's latest boyfriend. He's been around longer than the rest, like way longer, like 33 dates longer, like long enough to start leaving things at the house. On purpose. A razor in the shower. I used it to shave my legs the other day, and I heard Mom apologize for the misunderstanding. It wasn't a misunderstanding. He left it. He doesn't live here. I needed a razor. It looked like a nice one. That was it. Of course I felt guilty. I'm not completely conscienceless. But when it comes to Kyle, you sort of have to suspend guilt and, do what you have to do to get rid of him. Shoes by the front door. Doesn't he need them when he isn't here? Some tools under the kitchen sink. The roar of Kyle's truck got closer, while I debated whether I should stay outside and completely ignore him when he pulled up, or run and hide in my room. I decided to hide in my room. I bolted from the hammock and pounded up the porch stairs. Or at least, I tried to. The problem is, the last stair has a hole where Jack's foot smashed through it. And guess what my foot decided to do? That's right, follow Jack's phantom foot. So unoriginal! I have to admit, I panicked a little. There is no telling what lives under that porch. Probably pits of vipers, nests of poisonous spiders, maybe even some families of rabid rats. So as I stood there trying to pull out my foot, I was thinking about all those things. And my foot started tingling, and my vision tunneled, and I couldn't breathe, and I almost died. And then I smelled pizza, and Kyle said, "Oh my God, Victoria, let's get you out of there." And I said, "I can do it myself," but thank goodness he didn't listen, and I was freed because of Kyle. Kyle saved me from the vipers and spiders and rabid rats. But that doesn't mean he doesn't still have to go. It just means I said my first 2 words to him. Thank you. He looked like he'd won something. He hasn't won a thing. No one wins against Victoria Reeves. Just you wait and see. June 4th, 8:13 p.m. I'd like to say that after 26 Wednesdays of eating pizza for supper, I'm sick and tired of greasy pepperoni, stringy salty cheese, and tart tomato sauce. But I am so not sick and tired of it that just the smell wafting from the boxes Kyle set on the porch when he saw my predicament and decided to be a completely unnecessary knight in shining armor made my stomach growl so loudly Kyle laughed. Stupid stomach. He thinks he can win us over with pizza. He has another think coming. I sat down at the table, same as everyone else. I told myself I would only have 1 piece. That's all Mom has anymore, along with a gigantic salad, even though by Wednesday the salad's gotten pretty slimy and wilted. But how many did I have? 4. 4! How do you say, "I hate pizza like I hate you, Kyle," with 4 pieces? You don't. Kyle watched Jack and Maggie and me with a gigantic smile that practically split his face in two. And once, when I wasn't really paying attention, I smiled back. The pizza made me smile, not Kyle. We finished supper, and Kyle said, "Anybody up for Monopoly?" I practically sprinted to my room before Mom could volunteer me. She does that a lot now. I think she's trying to make Kyle feel better. No, I am not interested in Monopoly. I am not interested in playing any game with Kyle, or eating supper with Kyle, or being anywhere near Kyle for longer than I absolutely have to be. And I'm not interested in playing any game with Kyle, or eating supper with Kyle, or being anywhere near Kyle, even if I have to, according to Mom. Just to be clear, I have 0 interest in the problem known as Kyle, except in figuring out how to fix it. I'm chewing on some ideas. Stay tuned. Ode to pizza. So greasy, cheesy. Look at you. You're such perfection. I'll take 2. Okay, you got me. I'll take 4. And some days I'd like even more. But girls, we have to stop before we look like we might pop. Yes, I'll admit this ancient rule is reprehensible and cruel. We're hungry too. We want to eat. Who says we must be small, petite? Well, look at that. This poem has stepped from ode to beat. I guess I've swept some feelings down for way too long. What could possibly go wrong? I'll tell you what. Now pizza's linked with things that should become extinct. Injustice, inequality. They're both so gross I want to scream. Oh, pizza, I will sing your praise. I love you in 100 ways. But you cause problems. Yes, you do. I really should be leaving you. But smell, touch, taste, you're so well dressed. I still say you're the very best. And you taste divine. So here's a prompt for you to write your own poem and be a little bit like Victoria. Pick something you really love, like pizza, and write an ode to it. An ode is kind of like a love poem that rhymes. In this poem, celebrate all the magnificent things about whatever you chose. Things you love about it, things you appreciate, why the world would be a little dimmer if it didn't exist. Be sure to make your poem dramatic and a little over the top. Be silly or 100% serious. Whatever mood you feel is necessary to communicate your undying love for pizza. I mean, whatever you chose as the subject of your ode. Write as many odes as you want. It's good to spread love into the world. Thanks for listening to this excerpt from Something Maybe Magnificent. For more videos like this, subscribe to the Simon Kids YouTube channel and come back often. Have a magnificent day.